The Rough Show. Rough, 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 rough.
The Rough Show.
Rough, rough, rough.
The Rough Show.
Rough, rough, rough. The Rough Show is so cool that I could be swimming in a pool, and I know that you people think I'm lame, but I got so many figurines that I got a channel. It's on YouTube, and now you know because I've got a show. Let me tell you, it's called The Rough Show.
The Rough Show.
The Rough Show. The Rough Show. Da 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 da.
Hello, friends. Remember the YouTube channel, The Rough Show? Whatever happened to that channel? Where was my motivation? What happened to it? Why did I start this vlog that no one cares about? To be honest, I don't know. And given that you can't even see me right now, is probably a sign that I need to go into something else, like aluminum sales. To become an aluminum salesman. If you don't understand what an aluminum salesman is, shit. Well then I guess you shouldn't be reading this novel. It's aluminum siding. It's not aluminum sales. Anyway, so tonight's show is going to be about the Joker, because I'm practicing for comedy, and I need to find this thing. I don't think it's here. Well, hurt happens, I remember that. Oh yes, here it is. Sorry, it's taking forever to find this. There we go. Here it is. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. At some point, don't you think even a total idiot would say, maybe we should play a different game? Or better, that God's telling us we should quit basketball and go into business selling. I don't know, aluminum siding. Maybe? What do you think? And that's it. So, with that and the cuckoo clock, let's begin tonight's diatribe. So, I've been away for a while to re-find myself. Every so often I disappear and come back. And tonight, I have found myself. I have found myself in writing and acting and comedy. Now, I could do my set on this video, but that would be too easy, so I'm not. What I am going to do, though, is talk about my day. So today I slept in, woke up at 10:30, and began my day of showering and reading. Sorry, the reading came first, then the shower. And I wrote a poem, which I will share to you because this is my life. You should learn about me and my life. It's not called Untitled 2, but anyway, it's depression. It is like a drink of cold water for your heart. It drowns you all at once. But when you come up for air, all you see are stars. Stars that you cannot reach, no matter how hard you try. And then there's the bubble. It wraps around your mouth like a fishbowl, It sucks the air out of you. You try with all your might, but no words come out. Death is patiently waiting, but you don't want to go. You know you have more time, so you break the surface. The dome around your lips pops, and suddenly you see a clear sky. You smile. You cheer. You beat it. You beat him. Another day, another dollar, another sunset to watch before it cracks below the surface. It's not called Untitled. Yeah. Let's make sure it's not actually called Untitled. Poems. No, it's called Diversion. Anyway, so that's a little tidbit. Not a tidbit, that is the poem. Why don't we do some question answering / question answer period. Let's begin now. Actually, let's read my horoscope. See what's up for tonight. I'm going to my writers group. It's third installment. I'm excited because I have a focus this time on memoirs. Because one of my members, which doesn't need to be mentioned here, wants to write her memoir or memoirs, because you can do both. And I decided that we would do this meeting. This meeting would be about how to write a memoir. So I got some books, which I could bring up, but I'm not going to. But yeah. Anyway, so my horoscope today, which is September 3rd, 2018. Money is probably on your mind now, Aquarius. Yep. A desire for increased financial security could force you to look for work or investments that would pay off big. Okay. Opportunities for one or both of these are likely to come through friends, perhaps someone with whom you've worked before. Yeah, more like we've worked with. But anyway, you're likely to accomplish what you want for now, but it's uncertain whether you'll continue on this path in the future. Really, really optimistic. Fucking horoscope. And then there's something else I was going to read. Oh, yes, right, these emails. So I get a lot of emails. I do a Quora. I do Quora answers and sometimes ask Quora questions. If you don't know what Quora is, well, look it up. Anyway, once this has finally loaded, we will begin with that. And while we're waiting for that, we will see how long the timestamp is. Oh, just 6:33. That's not that big of a deal. Why is this taking forever? I don't want to live forever. And we're still waiting in vain. And I don't want to wait. Whatever. I just want to keep calling your name until you come back. Okay, we're back. No. Fuck off. Where is it? Oh, yes. So here's a question that I think is very important, which I will answer at some point. It is asked by Critty Paul. Don't know who that is. How can you improve on your writing skills and write a true classic? Well, Critty, that is a great question. So, in order to improve your writing skills, you're going to have to keep writing. That is the basic truth. But the longer you write, the more likely you will be able to develop this true classic. Now, why do I put that in quotation marks? I put that in quotation marks because there's no such thing as a true classic. Now, there are classics, but writers don't strive for classics. Like, when you're born, you don't think that you're going to become an astronaut or the world famous astronaut. Like, people don't go through life thinking that they will be the best rock star. Of course, people do go through life thinking they will be the world's best rock star. But it doesn't happen like that. The people that make classics never thought of making a classic in the first place. So therefore, you can't really write a true classic with that in mind. Now, if you take everything I just said and throw it into a trash can, then you can create a true classic. And I know this is contradictory, but that is only because that when you're writing, you should be writing
for the thrill of it. You should be writing because you want to write. You should be writing because every book you write is a classic. And if it's not, maybe one day it will be. No one knows what a classic will be. Like, no one really knows what literature is. Literature is a bullshit term which just groups a bunch of writing together that people think is so sophisticated it deserves to be in this canon. But the thing is, there are so many canons. Stephen King has a canon all to himself because he changed the horror genre completely. Before Stephen King, horror in writing was, to be honest, crap. So like Twilight, that was going on before even Stephanie Meyer came onto the scene. 50 Shades of Grey, again, like, Stephen King changed the genre. The Shining could be considered a classic. Is it? No. But to horror fans, The Shining is a classic. Like, The Dark Knight is one of the best superhero films ever filmed. Ironically, it's the sequel to Batman Begins, which is the beginning of the Christopher Nolan franchise. And I use franchise in a way that makes it not just about the movies, but about the toys, about the books, blah, blah, blah. Batman is a classic. Why is Batman a classic? Because he stood the test of time, and people still read him, or read about him, read comic books, so Batman is a classic character. Can you write a true classic? Yes, but you can't intend that in the end it will be a classic. You can hope it will be, but you can't market a classic that you've just written. It's not going to become a classic. There are ways that you can write a classic, but I wouldn't say that because you're writing it, it'll become a classic. Now, there are people who have answered this question. One person, and I will tell you their answer, which might be different than mine. Oh, here we go. We got two, though. So, this is Jeff Moses' answer, which... Oh, it's not dead. He's just a former technical editor. Keep writing. Find a few friends who will give you honest, helpful feedback. Compare your current work with past work. Do you see progress? Do you see recurrent problems? Recurrent themes? Sadly, you cannot write a true classic. You can only discover you've written a classic after a lot of people have found it to be sufficiently powerful, helpful, moving, insightful, entertaining, etc. And sometimes, that evidence won't be available until long after you've died. And sometimes, it'll turn out to be a work you weren't even that proud of. The composer Ravel was embarrassed that his most widely known piece was Bolero. He'd probably be even more annoyed if he were still alive to see how it's continued to be so widely celebrated. Sir Arthur Sullivan was pissed that nobody took his serious compositions seriously. They just keep loving the operettas he wrote with W.S. Gilbert. Well, there you go. Someone else says, think on your own. Believe in what you, http://write.do. Don't know what that is. Let's see what that is. It's not really a website. Do not bother to impress anyone. Impress yourself. Then your writing will be good. Okay, these are terrible answers. These are absolutely, absolutely terrible answers. So my answer is better than these two answers combined. But that is the truth, Ruth. If your name is not Ruth, hi, Dory. That's not funny. It's not